Welcome back, guys. So in the next couple of videos we'll be looking at how to do CRUD operations in PHP. And of course we know CRUD is an acronym for create, read, update and delete. So at this stage we can create some products in our auto store. So the first thing that we'll need to do is go to our database and create our products table. So just navigate over to PHP My Admin, click on the new tab, and I'm going to put some SQL in to create our products. I'll make sure to include this SQL script when I upload the project to GitHub. Okay, so I'm just going to paste this in. Alright, so let me quickly go over it. This is going to create a table called products. It's going to have a unique ID or primary key of product ID. It's going to have a product code, name, quantity, and price. Now I'd like the default price. Let me change this to, let's change the default to $0. And let me remove this encoding so that it is in keeping with the encoding for our database. So now we can click on go, and we see here that our products table has been created. And to view the structure of this table, we click on the structure tab, and here we can see the different fields in our products table. Alright, so now that we have our products table, we can now go over to our editor, and we will need to create a new file. We can just name it products.php. So this page will need to inherit our Bootstrap styling from our theme. So we can go ahead and grab that from, let's grab it from our register page. So if we just scroll up to the top, we will need everything at the beginning in the head of our document. So let us copy this and paste it in, and this will be our products page. So let us change the name of this. And we'll also need these Bootstrap include statements in the body. So copy this section here to the end, and let us paste. So first let us open up our body tag here. Alright, so now the code for our PHP, and let us just wrap everything inside PHP tags. Sorry about that. PHP. Doesn't matter. Alright, so let us hold off on that for now. Let us just include our PHP when we actually make a call to our PHP script. Alright, so now what we'll need to do, let us actually include it here. So first thing we'll need to do is we'll need to grab or include our database connection and go and grab all that information in our products table. So currently we don't have anything in our products table, so let us add a few products. So let's go to insert, and you don't have to enter a value for the product ID, that will be populated automatically. So for our product code, we can say tire $30. Okay, so let's edit. Let's see here. Let us edit our spark plug. So quantity will be 1 spark plug will be, so accidentally hit the enter button, so that's what happened. So and let's insert a couple more products here. So we have spark plugs, oil filter, 1, and let's do one more. So air. Let's do it for $150. Okay, so at this stage we have 4 products in our products table, and we now want to display them on our web page. So now let's go out to bootstrap.com. So we're using Bootstrap 4.4, of course. So once you're here on Bootstrap, we can go ahead and look at how we can get a table in our page. So in order to get a table, we need some examples, or not on our examples page. Let's go to documentation, and in the left tab, let us click on components. Okay. Okay. Alright, no. So I think it's the content tab, right? So click on the content tab and then click on tables. And here we have some examples of tables that we can use in our project. Alright, so if you scroll down, you see different types of tables that you can use, different types of styling. So remember, Bootstrap is already included in our project, so we can simply grab the HTML that we see here. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this first table example. So let me copy this. So what we will need is the head of the table, of course, to let us know what table headings we should have. So we see here that this table has first, last, and handle as a table heading. For our purpose, we need to have product ID, product code, name, quantity, and price in our table heading. The rest of the table body will be dynamically generated by our PHP code. So we are going to do a query, and it will return all the different items here in our products table and display them dynamically on our web page. So let us grab this first section here. So table up to table body, and let's copy that. Alright, so class is table, so let us enter our fields. So the first is product ID, and forgive me, so we have code, name, quantity, and price. Okay. So let's just keep it uniform. So we need one more header. Let's just copy. And this is going to display our price. Alright, so now that we have this section, we now want to generate the table body using our PHP code. So in order to do that, we will need to include our database connection. So DB of course this should be in double quotations. And now that we have done that, we want to do an if statement. No, sorry, not an if statement. We want to let us create our SQL. So our SQL is going to be select all from our products table, and we're going to store the result in a result variable. So result is going to be equal to our connection, and the query is going to be our SQL statement. So now that we have our query and our result, we can go ahead and do our if statement. So now we can say if result is greater than 0, if it's greater than 0, we want to fetch all of those rows. So we can say while row is equal to result and fetch the associated rows. And here we close off that PHP connection or PHP tag, and we want to now insert those rows. So we want to include a class equals table-row, which is a CSS class for our Bootstrap, and the ID of this row will be equal to and we can remember we can include PHP anywhere in this document, so we want to echo the row ID and now we close that connection. So opens here, right, and we close it off here. All right, so now we can add the data to that table row. So td, and the class will be also be table row. And now we open up our PHP tags again. And an easier way than always saying PHP echo is to use the equal sign here. So this is equivalent to saying PHP echo. Alright, so when you see the shorthand method, that is what we're doing. So we go on to echo row. And this, sorry, should be our product ID. So it has to be the same name, in keeping with the same name that you have in your database. So this should be product ID. So it's product uppercase ID. And the same thing for the other fields. So we need to have product code, and close off that td. And I'm going to copy and paste to make it things a little bit quicker. So we need one for our product code, name, quantity, and also price. So let us change those here. So this is product name. And let's make sure we double check. So it's just name, quantity, and price. So we should just put name, QTY, and price. Okay, so those are in keeping with what we have in our database. And now we need a section here that will allow us to perform an action on each one of these rows. So let me put a quick comment here. So these are our actions, such as edit. You may want to view in a, as a single entity, or you may want to delete. So this is where we place those actions. So we need another table row. And let us give it a call span of 2. Just to give it a little more room. And here we're going to have our links. So we're going to have our href. And the first one will be edit. We haven't created our edit.php file as yet, but we will be doing that subsequently. So the first one will be edit.php, and it will need the specific ID. So we're going to say ID is going to be equal to, and let's open up our PHP tab, because we'll be getting that ID based on the row that is clicked on. So ID will be row, open up our brackets, and of course our product ID. close off our tag, and we can give it a class here. So we can give it a Bootstrap class just to make it look a little bit nicer. For now, let's just leave it as a link. We just want to ensure that things work first and foremost before we go ahead and add too much styling or too much confusion. So let us just add another section here. Let us copy this, and we want, let's just do edit and delete for now. So copy this. And this will be delete.php. And we will still need the product ID to be able to delete. So let us now close off our A tag. Where are we? A tag. Oh my. Here we are. So let's close off our A tag and also our table tag. We don't necessarily need that. TD. We just want to ensure that we're closing off everything properly, so we do need, right, there we go. Okay, so now we can save this and test it out. So let us save our document. Let's go to our auto parts store, and then we can now try to load our products page. Products.php, and we have an error on line 50, so let us see what is wrong with line 50. Oh, right, so we definitely need to close off our table row here. So let us drop this down to another line. So we have to close this off first. And we also have to close off our if statement opening parentheses and our while statement opening and closing parentheses. Alright, so we do need to open our PHP here and close it off here. And then finally we need to close off our table body and our table, right? Okay, so this is our if statement here. Alright, so we're still seeing an error. So let's go through this line one more time to see what could be causing an error. So we have our class table row, call span is 2. Here we have a link to edit.php, and we have our ID is equal to row. Product ID, oh, we need to close off our square bracket here. We still have an error. Alright, so we terminate with our semicolon. So href delete PHP ID row product. Oh, so we need to close this off as well. Okay, so now we save that. Our error has disappeared. Now let's go and try again. Let's refresh. Alright, so now we're getting some items back from our database. However, it's not lined up. So here it says undefined index quantity on line 47. So let us check out line 47. 47. Oh, well, I think we probably have the wrong name for quantity, right? So we need to change this to quantity. So let us save that. And we can refresh our page. Alright, so now, okay, so now our ID needs to be showing up here, our code. So let us see, something is off with the structure of our table. So first column is, okay, so we need an extra section here for our product ID. So this, let's copy this. Actually, this should be, okay, let us have a different section here. And call it product ID. And let us save it and refresh our page. Alright, so there we have it. Our product ID, 1, 2, 3, 4, product code, product name, quantity, and price. Alright. So what is not showing up are our edit and delete links. So let us fix our code up here quickly. Alright, so in our href, our double quotation begins here and it should end here, and we can have a section here that says edit. Actually, it should be outside of that, so right here should be edit. And then we close off our A tag. And the same goes for our delete. So delete and close off our A tag. So let us save that. And now when we refresh it, we should see our edit and delete options. They don't work currently. So in the next video, we will look at adding functionality to edit and delete these products in our database. Alright, thanks for watching.